Welcome on Texas football. It's a mid-afternoon report. Longhorns are hosting Amari Niblack, tight end, University of Alabama, on his way to Austin today. Jeff Banks, Texas tight ends coach, visited with him yesterday in the state of Florida. The Longhorns now bringing Niblack in for an official visit today. Longhorns trying to get Niblack to join forces with Isaiah Bond and Kendrick Blackshear, other former Alabama Crimson Tide members. It should be noted that Niblack on his Instagram Live yesterday said he wanted to have a decision by this weekend, by Friday. That puts us, within 24 hours of when Niblack might exactly decide. 6'3.5", 220 pounds. He had 20 catches this year, had a season-long reception against the Longhorns of 39 yards where he kind of weaved in and out of the Texas defense for a long touchdown score. Niblack will be joining forces apparently or potentially with not only Isaiah Bond that came in through the transfer portal, but also Jonte Cook, Ryan Wingo already on campus as well, Matthew Golden from the University of Houston, as well as the latecomer Silas Bolden out of Oregon State. But Niblack is not the only recruit on campus. Staying on campus both Wednesday and Thursday was Jabbar Muhammad, the defensive back out of the University of Washington by way of DeSoto. Muhammad was second team All Pac-12 last year with 3 interceptions. Muhammad and his parents all went to Austin for the 2-day visit. Steve Sarkisian, Jeff Banks, the whole crew, Terry Joseph, Blake Gideon, all met with Muhammad either on Wednesday or Thursday. Sark himself left Thursday morning to hit a lot of players in Galveston County, to be honest, down in southeast Texas. Went by Ball High to see Jonah Williams, the safety. Went by Hitchcock to see Kelshawn Johnson, the wide receiver. Then went to Shadow Creek near Pearland/Alvin area to see Deuce Williams, as well as Kobe Sellers and Ja'Cory Watson, all players that are potential guys for the Longhorns coming up with their junior day. Sarkisian also expected in Conroe tomorrow to meet with Dorian Brew, one of the nation's top cornerback prospects. So tomorrow he'll make his way there. It is clear he is using private jet, by the way, because he cannot possibly be all these places at one particular time. But he is getting back and forth. The Texas coach is clearly working overtime as this portal window almost comes to a close. Alabama players have entered the portal, etc. So have some Washington players. Arizona players have as well. But right now, Texas appears really focused on both Amari Niblack and Jabbar Muhammad, those 2 prospects. Texas currently has 6 commitments in the transfer portal. Muhammad would make it very interesting because here's a guy that plays mostly corner. He played over 700 snaps this year at corner, 100 in the slot, according to Pro Football Focus. So what is Texas going to do with all these cornerbacks? Well, they showed last year that they're very willing to substitute freely. And so I think that that's part of the process that Texas is going through. As well, you have Jahdae Barron coming back, and you brought in Andrew Makuba. My guess is if Muhammad comes in as expected, or I'm almost saying I expect this now, which is another kind of difference. At one time, I was thinking it was going to be Oregon ahead of Texas. Now I think Texas may lead for Muhammad. If that's the case, then I think Makuba would move to safety, Barron sticks at nickel, and Muhammad becomes a piece at corner with the other guys in tow. That would be a huge development because it creates a lot more comfortableness, I guess is the best way to put it, at the safety position. It gives you a 3-year returning starter at nickel in the same caliber or the same style of defense with Pete Kwiatkowski, and gives you a 2-year starter at corner to go along with Terrence Brooks and Manny Muhammad himself out of South Oak Cliff as well. So all of that being said, the defensive backfield looks like it's getting solidified even further. I thought it might be enough, but the Longhorns and Steve Sarkisian, those guys leaving no stone unturned back there. As far as Niblack is concerned, the question is twofold. One, will he make a decision this quickly? If he does, and it's Texas, you have to think that that means Texas is probably not going after Ben Urosic, the tight end out of Stanford, who visited Georgia last weekend. Texas was a possibility. We'll have to wait and see exactly where that goes. But those two additions would give Texas 8 players from the portal. When I first thought Texas might be going to the portal this year, I was thinking 4 to 6 players total. Now that number is looking like 8 to 9, possibly even 10, because Texas is going to have to go after a defensive tackle at some point. One other piece about Niblack that is different than maybe Ben Urosic out of Stanford. He is more of a flex tight end. He's not necessarily an inline guy. And so because of that, you can expect more downfield passing, more, we look at it and think about what Quinn Ewers is actually good at and what his strengths not necessarily what he's good at, but what his strengths are. It's downfield passing, not necessarily the deep ball as much as the intermediate pass. That gives Texas another target that can get free kind of deep in Niblack. It's a lot like Jatavian Sanders and the difference between JT Sanders and Gunnar Helm in that regard. Niblack may be even faster than Sanders, though not quite as big or thick at this point in time. So you look at all of that and add in all of those receiver pieces that Texas is grabbing right now, and Texas just looks like a really, really solid football team, at least on offense, headed into 2024. Better than perhaps anybody would have anticipated just 2 short weeks ago before Bond, Bolden, and now Niblack may end up in the fold as well. All of that to say, Texas continues to recruit these guys. They have not committed as yet. We're in the precipice of that. But Amari Niblack is on campus at the University of Texas. He is a young man that Texas fans should know well. He scored the touchdown against the Longhorns, like we mentioned. But my take on this is really pretty clear. Steve Sarkisian is going all in on 2024. This is a guy, Niblack is like a guy that has 1 year left. Isaiah Bond, 1 year left. You'd have to think Jabbar Muhammad, 1 year left. These are not build it with the portal guys. These are guys that are going to be there probably for 1 year and be done at the University of Texas. So think of it that way. It's very interesting how Texas is going about this. Jeff Banks leaving, really going after Niblack. Banks, obviously the tight ends coach, went after Niblack immediately, just like Steve Sarkisian went after Isaiah Bond when he went in the portal. Niblack going in the portal. That very day, Jeff Banks makes his way to Florida to meet with Niblack as well. That was yesterday, and now today, Niblack is on the University of Texas campus. All right, that's going to do it for a little mid-afternoon update. Big news: Niblack on campus. Jabbar Muhammad, I think, leaning towards Texas over Oregon at this stage. He is slated to visit Alabama, but I'm not sure if he's going to make that visit. All right, that'll do it for. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm Bobby Burton. This has been On Texas Football. Hook 'em.